Sanibona, ngaphambi singene kwivideo namuhla, ngithi angithathe lethuba ngibonge isupport nothando nesikhombise lona lingaphezu kokucabanga kwethu. Siyacela niqhubeke nisupporte njalo ngokubuka amavideo ethu, ungakhohlwa ukukhomenta, ushare, ulike. Siyafisa ukuzwa umbono wakho. Sicela ke singene kwivideo namuhla.
Who really owns South Africa? Who really owns South Africa? Now, to those of you who don't know what the Berlin Declaration is, let me give you a little bit of insight. It was in 1884 where the Berlin Declaration formalized at the Berlin Conference that was an agreement between European states or European powers and Americas to establish rules for colonizing Africa without any African representation. The Berlin Declaration said European countries can colonize this continent without any form of African representation. This is where borders were instituted on the continent. It was different administrative ideals that were put together around what it would need to take for Africa to be colonized. Whilst Africa was functioning in 1884 independently, in Europe, the Berlin Declaration said that European countries can claim and put a stake, and by the way, that's how it worked. They could put a stake on any part of the continent and they could claim it as theirs. The sad part is about the Berlin Declaration, which you and I are going to explore this evening, is that the Berlin Declaration in many African states till today has not been dismantled. We have not dismantled the rules, the regulations that came in from Europe on how is it that Africa could be used for the purposes of extraction. Till today, have you ever wondered why is it that we extract raw materials from Africa, we extract diamonds from South Africa, we extract gold from South Africa, we extract raw materials from South Africa, and then we ship off these raw materials to Europe. It gets manufactured, industrialized, turned into finished products, and then they come and sell it back to us at a higher margin. Why is that? And it's not because we do not have the means of production. It's not because we don't have the capacity to establish the means of production. It's because we have yet to dismantle some of these declarations that were signed without African representation. So I ask you this evening, and the question that we're going to be answering as a collective is, who really owns South Africa?
Ake ngathi ngelinye ilanga kusafuna sike sifundisane nomlando. Kusafuna sike sixoxe ukuthi lama border esinawo abuyaphi. Ngenhlahla uFaith lo osebenza ku Metro FM waba nayo le discussion. Kodwa nje angifuna ngicaphune inkulumo yakhe yonke, kodwa ngicaphune le part esekuqaleni ngoba uyakuveza ukuthi lama border esinawo, lama border nje esinawo avela kanjani. Inhloso yawo kwakuyini? Namhlanje sesenza naleyo nkinga leyo. Laba sentshonalanga into abangayifuni ukuyibona yenzeka nento abangayifisi ukuyibona yenzeka ukuthi Africa ikhulume ngazwilinye, ukuthi Africa ikwazi ukutrade amongst each other, ama-Africans akwazi ukutrade amongst each other, ama-Africans akwazi ukusebenzisana free, ngoba manje ngenxa yama-border nama-customs akhokhwayo kunzima kakhulu kususa ibhizinisi la uyise Zimbabwe noma uyise Botswana, kanti Africa ingathuthuka kangcono mangathiwa kunalento bahlezi beyikhuluma kodwa engenziwe ekuthiwa i-Free Africa Trading. Isitha siyayisaba leyo nto leyo ngoba i-Africa inawo amandla. Inkinga yethu asibambisene ngenxa yemithetho esabekelwa yona. Ngicela uzwe la.
It's possible to generate up to 60% of Africa's energy needs from the Congo River.
Wow.
What is the problem? People can't agree. It's the human beings. The technology is there to get hydroelectricity from the DRC and even supply other countries. As far as here, we would benefit from transmission lines from the DRC. And the countries that are between here and the DRC who have a net energy deficit would benefit. But also nuclear energy.
There's uranium available here and on the continent as well.
Lots. We export uranium. By the way, the problem there with Traore, is it Traore in
Burkina Faso.
yeah, France gets its uranium from Burkina Faso.
Oh, right, and Niger, I think. Yeah.
And Niger, yeah. And Niger, I meant Niger. And they pay them a fraction of the market price, international market price. Now with the new coup leaders, they said they will supply Russia with the uranium. Russia is prepared to pay market prices. That economy is booming. Not only that, Russia said we'll even build you nuclear power stations to give you people electricity. There's uranium in South Africa. I think the biggest source of uranium might actually be Namibia. We have it here. There is a lot of uranium in West Africa. In fact, I read once there is a cave where they believe that there was a nuclear reaction that happened in that cave hundreds of years ago, where a nuclear reaction must have taken place from the way that the cave has. So we have a lot of uranium in Africa. Uranium deposits. So that is not the problem. And in any way, something like Koeberg, you don't refuel all the time. The fuel is at subatomic level. So you get a pellet as big as this
Right.
of uranium that obviously has been enriched, that is bombarded with neutrons, and that gives you so much power. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So I'm convinced. In fact, my doctoral thesis is about nuclear law.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
A country that does not have any nuclear reactors, what laws must it pass for it to enter the nuclear space safely?
Abantu base-Afrika noma ama-Africans funa kwazi ukubaluleka kokubambisana, nakwazi ukubaluleka kokusebenzisana. Ayikho into edlula leyo. Ngiyazi ukuthi kule video sizokhuluma ngodaba lama-illegal immigrants, kodwa kubalulekile ukuthi sikhulume ngale nto le. Ebese sikhuluma-ke ngodaba lama-illegal immigrants. Ngicela uzwe la.
You know, African leaders will never negotiate effectively because Africa is not sovereign, not united, and not in control of its own wealth. A divided nation will always beg and never bargain. That is the Pan-Africanist truth. Kwame Nkrumah told us, divided we are weak and united we are strong. Yet 54 African countries still negotiate individually with global powers who negotiate as blocs. From the beginning, Africa's economy was built to extract minerals, export raw materials, import finished goods, rely on foreign capital, rely on foreign creditors, and relying on foreign expertise. That is not underdevelopment. That is engineered dependency. And unfortunately, a dependent economy cannot negotiate. It can only comply. Kwame Nkrumah warned that the last stage of imperialism is neocolonialism. And today, the instrument of neocolonialism is debt. When your budget depends on IMF loans, World Bank conditions, and Eurobond refinancing, you do not negotiate from power, you negotiate from desperation. Debt makes African states cut labor wages, privatize national assets, devalue currencies, remove subsidies, and weaken labor protection. No, debt forces African leaders to choose Western approval over African development. That is not negotiation, it's obedience. Patrice Lumumba died for one simple truth. He said the wealth of our soil will benefit our children, not foreigners. But unfortunately today, cobalt in Congo is controlled by foreign multinationals. Oil in Nigeria is controlled by foreign companies. Gold in Mali is controlled by foreign investors. Diamonds in Botswana are jointly controlled. Infrastructure is financed externally, and trade routes are secured by foreign militaries. And the sad truth is that you cannot negotiate the price of what you do not own, or that the price of what you do not control. You cannot rebuild an economy whose ownership lies in London or Brussels. Economic sovereignty must come before negotiation. But a Pan-Africanist critique must also be honest. Africa is weakened from within. Too many leaders negotiate for their own survival, for their own party funding, for self-enrichment, for military backing, and for foreign validation. Thomas Sankara said it best. He who feeds you controls you. Leaders whose political survival depends on foreign capital will never negotiate for African liberation. They negotiate for stability, not sovereignty. And until Africa becomes a coordinated political and economic bloc, negotiations will always look like this. Africa offers raw materials, the world offers finished goods. Africa offers land, the world offers investment. Africa offers silence, the world offers terms. Pan Africanism teaches that liberation is impossible without unity. Nkrumah, Lumumba, Sankara, Cabral all understood that Africa's fragmentation is Africa's weakness. African leaders cannot negotiate economic rebuilding because Africa is still inside the architecture of exploitation. And the remedy is not better negotiators, but a better Africa, united, industrialized, sovereign, and free from external control. Julius Nyerere said, Africa must unite or perish. And until we take that seriously, Africa will always be rich in minerals, but poor at the negotiation table.
Nje namuhla asike ngaphambi sikhulume ngalo daba mfethu asikhulume ngalo. Kodwa asike sihlukanise lenkulumo. Ngeke ngibalalela abantu ngibona abantu abam-understand uJulius Malema. Abam-understandanga uDr John Hlophe ngesikhathi ahambe noZuma beseGhana. Bekhuluma ngokuthi Africa unite. Yingoba abantu makukhulunywa ngeAfrica ukuthi ayibe yinye bacabanga indaba le yama-illegal immigrants kanti akunjalo. Kubalulekile ukwazi ukuthi Africa njengoba inje ingoba kwenze njani. Sinalamabhoda namuhla afakwa ngobani. Usichazelele uFaith ekuqaleni ukuthi afakwa ngobani. iBerlin Conference engo-1884. Lapho kwakungekho khona abamazwe ase-Europe ahlukaniselana. Lathi elinye mina ngifuna indawo ethize, elinye ngifuna indawo ethize. Sasesiba nalamabhoda esinawo. Okuthe noma i-Afrika seyithola inkululeko yayo, kodwa bangayisusa lemithetho. Namhlanje senza ukuthi abantu base-Afrika babe zinkotha ngqoko ezweni labo. Babe ngabacelayo, ngabancengile ezweni labo. Izolo kuye kwatrenda esinye statement somkhonto wesizwe party la. Senza ukuthi amanye amalungu omkhonto wesizwe party angajabuli mayelana nale statement. Ngithe uma ngingena ku-Facebook ungazithela phe kwepost ebhalwe uSibonelo Nomvalo ubebhale kanje. Illegal immigrants are law breakers. They must be treated like criminals. Once we say illegal, we mean the law has been broken. We must show no sympathy to law breakers who illegally steal jobs of our sisters and brothers at the helm of rife unemployment. Uvuyani Memela mfoka Nomvalo sidiniwe singamalungu eMKP. Ile statement esisibona sitrend okuthiwa sikhishwa iMKP. Kule party ethi uma bebizwa ngama-illegal foreigners, lokho kungugqugquzela izinophobia. Cacisana ukuthi nimi ngakuphi madoda. Ningenza umsebenzi ubenzima kubantu abakhankasela umkhonto ngoba lesiya statement sizolimaza iMKP. Kulokhetho esiya kulo futhi lo osibhale kanjeya akasilungise bese eshenxa esikhundleni akuso. Asizuvuma ukudayiswa thina. Ayilunge ngokusheshsha leyo nto. Tshela ozakwenu ilungiswe ngoba kuzokonakala. Statement ebesitrenda ngaleso sikhathi ulast paragraph wale statement ofundeka kanje. This bill was not passed because of principled leadership. It was passed because Parliament was compelled by the Constitutional Court to correct unconstitutional previous expressed in Lawyers for Human Rights versus Minister of Home Affairs in 2017 and ex-party Minister of Home Affairs 2023 without judicial interventions. The abuse of detention power would have continued unchecked. This amendment is not reform. It is judicial compliance disguised as progress. The MK party rejects this bill because it continues to use the humanizing term illegal foreigner, a phrase that fuels xenophobia, strips people of dignity, and contradicts the Constitution's commitment to human worth. Language is policy, and this language is dangerous. Nansi nje le line okuyiyona eyenza ukuthi abantu bomkhonto sizophathi badideke. Ethi The MK party rejects this bill because it continues to use the dehumanizing term illegal foreigner, a phrase that fuels xenophobia, strips people of dignity, and contradicts the Constitution's commitment to human worth. Ngokubonakala kwale statement somkhonto wesizwe party, uJacinta Ngobese Zuma ubhale kanje, I'm so confused. What is dehumanizing about calling someone who is in the country illegally and illegal foreigner? Because they are in the country and illegally so. Ngaphansi wathi kusho ukuthi ama-guest ke. Babe beqhubeka be-engage nabantu, uqhubekile wabhala kanje washo ukuthi hayi kusho ukuthi funa sithi our beautiful neighbors or okanye sithi visitors who happen to forget their documents at home then decided to bring their whole family and start staring at us. Bonga kuma-fighter ngoba besingeke sazi ukuthi itheni i-MK party noma ithini i-MK party mayelana nodaba lwabantu abangene ngokungekho semthethweni la eSouth Africa. Eqinisweni lonke uma ufuna ukwazi indaba zomkhonto wesizwe party, ufuna ukwazi especially izi-negative olandela ama-fighter. Khona bathi Apostle bani laphaya, umsunuka Johan Rupert, kube uMr Aye, kube uZizipho. Landela lawo bantu la bazokutshela yonke into eyenzeka kumkhonto wesizwe party. Futhi bazi izinto ezenzeka kumkhonto wesizwe party ukudlula ezenzeka kuyiqembu labo. Ngendlela nje abawuthanda ngayo nabawukhonze ngayo umkhonto wesizwe party. Ngakho ke ibona abasizile ukuze litrend le statement. Lokho okuphoqelela ukuthi i-MK party ayikhiphe istatement ezoclarifya kuso mayelana nale nkulumo abayibhale lapha. Ngoba kwamina noma ngikuqonda ukuthi ama-Afrika afuneka unite, afuna sebenzisane, kodwa illegal immigrants ayivumelekile. I-Afrika fanele isebenzisane, Afrika fanele ibambisane, i-trade ngokusemthethweni, kusetshenziswa umthetho, kodwa not ukuthi izinto zenziwa abantu abangama-illegal immigrants or illegal foreigners. Kodwa ngokusho kwe-MK party lelo gama is dehumanizing. Hayi yangidumaza, asifunde naso statement sabo. Statement umkhonto wesizwe party sikhiphe ngomhla ka-18 kuDisemba 2025. Isihloko sithi MK Party Statement Clarifying Our Stance on Immigration Act. Sifundeka kanje. Umkhonto wesizwe party, MKP, wishes to clarify its position regarding immigration, following our statement on the NCOP recent vote on the Immigration Act. The MK Party has consistently maintained that all individuals entering the Republic of South Africa must do so through legal and documented channels. Proper documentation is essential for maintaining law and order, safeguarding national security, and ensuring effective economic management. Our concern lies specifically with undocumented immigrants who reside and work in the country illegally. The MK Party believes that undocumented migration contributes to increased pressure on the public services, rising crime, unemployment, and border lawlessness, all of which disproportionately affect South African citizens. The MK Party's position is clear. Undocumented immigrants are individuals who have entered or remain in South Africa without legal authorization, regardless of their country of origin. Undocumented migration is not limited to any single region or continent. It is a global phenomenon with direct social, economic, and cultural consequences for South Africa. The MK Party firmly upholds the principle that, as other countries do in the continent and the world over, South Africa must prioritize its citizens. For this reason, we do not support the so-called GNU's current approach to the Migration Act. We also frown upon the political opportunism displayed by the so-called GNU in falsely suggesting that the MK Party supports illegal foreign nationals. This assertion is misleading and deliberately misrepresents the MK Party long-standing and clearly stated position on undocumented migration. The MK Party has never condoned and will not support the presence of undocumented immigrants in the country. The MK Party's position on this matter is very clear, articulated in the People's Mandate. At the same time, the MK Party reiterates its respect for lawful migration and affirms that immigration must be regulated, documented and enforced in the interest of South Africa and our people. The bill offers no humane or durable solution for stateless persons, condemning them to permanent legal limbo, unable to be deported, unable to regulate, and be subjected to recurring detention without resolution. This is not justice. It is abandoned. Most critically, the bill criminalizes desperation while ignoring the collapse of the Department of Home Affairs itself. Under the current so-called GNU arrogant and under Minister Leon Schreiber, Home Affairs remain a site of systematic failure characterized by corruption, collapsed IT system, chronic backlog, and administrative dysfunction. People do not become undocumented by choice. They become undocumented because the state has failed to function. The MK Party's NCOP caucus does not take instruction from the GNU, does not vote by narrative, and does not hide behind manufactured consensus. We act with discipline, clarity, and principle. No amount of propaganda, graphic, or spin will rewrite the official parliamentary record. The MK Party will not be used to legitimize the so-called GNU's failure, will not be fooled into false unity, and will not allow our principled opposition to be rewritten by misinformation campaigns. South Africa deserves an immigration system that is firm, but fair, sovereign, but humane. One that secures borders while fixing state capacity, confronting corruption, and restoring dignity. The MK Party rejects legislative cosmetics, rejects fear-based policy making, and demands immigration laws rooted in justice, accountability, and true sovereignty. Nake statement lesi esivela kumkhonto wesizwe party mayelana nalolu daba ebelu trend. Bazama bona ukucacisa ukuthi baphambene abavumelani nabantu okuthiwa ngama illegal immigrants. Kodwa bebezama ukuphikisa a social media post eboha trend ethi bona bavote kanye neGNU lapha ku NCOP. Angizukuphawula ke ngakho ngoba angiyibonanga i-video yakhona. So kufuna umuntu abuke i-video yakhona athole ukuthi bekuthiwani, bekukhulunywa ngani ukuze siyithole kahle lolu daba. Kodwa ke njengabantu abase South Africa abalikhathalele izwe South Africa abangama law abiding citizen, funa ngikubeke lokho, mina nje I'm the law abiding citizen. Kuyangikhathaza ukuzwa kuthiwa kunabantu abasupporta ama illegal immigrants abangafuna ukuthi kusetshenziswe igama elithi illegal foreign. Ingakho ngeze ngathi lolu daba ngililandelela, kodwa ba clarify bona ukuthi cha basamile ekuthenini abahambelani, ngoba ukuba illegal, uma umuntu nje kuthiwa uyi-illegal immigrant usho lo muntu uphula umthetho, abahambisani ke nomuntu ophula umthetho. Kodwa ke bakhulumela indaba zabo zamapolisi ukuthi amapolisi kufuneka abe yisima kanjani. Lokho ke sizokwazi ukuqonda kahle uma sengithola isikhathi ngase ngiyobukela ke i-NCOP. Zothi mase ngiyibukile sengizwile kahle kahle bekukhulunywa ngani, bese ngikwazi ukwenza ivideo ezochaza. Okwamanje nje bengikhuluma ngalantu udaba obelitrend izolo, ngoba kwa statement lesa ngisifunda ngibone na ngoba bebe highlightile le part ebetrenda ngempela ke. Yingakho beze babona ukuthi no aba clarify. Nomvalo waze wabhala ukuthi no umuntu ongenela eSouth Africa illegally uwenza ubugebengu, ngoba ukubala illegally kubugebengu. bezama ukubeka ukuthi no as i-MK party kodwa ukuthi bekukhulunywa ngani ku-NCOP kasazi. Yingakho-ke ngithi ngaphambi kokuba nje ngikhuluma into eningi bona sebeclarifyile ukuthi basamile ekuthenini abantu abala illegally baphule umthetho. Lokho nje kusamile, lokho nje kuwubugebengu, kufuna labo bantu baboshwe badeportwe babuyele emazweni abo. Lokho nje abakaguquki kukho. Sizothi mase sesiyibukile i-NCOP sesithola ukuthi kahle kahle kukhulunywa ngani, ngoba kubalekile nalokho bese sikhuluma into egcwele ngoba sonke bekusithusile ngempela. Yingakho noma ngoba esewenza leya video wathi hayi usho ukuthi kufuneka babizwe ngama-guest phela uma ngabe it's inhumane uma ngathiwa babizwa ngama illegal foreigners. Mina nawe sidibane kwivideo elandelayo, ngiyabonga.